2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We speak to, I think it's fair to say, thousands of guests. Don't you think so, Robin?
I would say, yes.
Thousands of guests.
Yep.
And so it's hard sometimes to remember somebody who we've had on the show before, and then sometimes it's not hard to remember. Connie Mann has been with us before. I knew right away that she had been with us before. I remembered she had worked at Silver Springs. I don't know if I remembered all the details. Of course, I have the notes in front of me right now, but she's a very accomplished author, and she has a new book that just came out yesterday. She's in the studio. It's called Tangled Lies. Connie Mann is also known as Captain Connie. And when you're a captain, you get to wear a necklace that looks like an anchor. That's cool.
And
it's
actually,
a pretty necklace.
Necklace came as a gift from my publisher as a
Is that right?
congratulations for release day. Yes, they did.
Nice.
Well,
This is very
congratulations.
cool.
Thank you so much for coming in here and thinking of us to help talk, to help spread the word out about your book.
Well, thank you so much for having me. You all are so gracious. It's always fun to be here.
So do you captain anymore? Do you still?
I do. I work for the Silver River Museum, which is
Uh-huh.
part of Marion County Public Schools. So my usual people I take on the boat are fifth graders.
And which boat do you drive? Do you
It's
call
a-
what do
it's
you
a
call it?
30
Pilot?
Yes,
you pilot a boat.
You pilot a boat.
Okay.
It's called the Timucuan. It's 33 feet long, and it belongs to Marion County Public Schools. And we take fifth graders out on the Silver River.
That
Really?
is so wonderful.
Yes, so I get to show many of them their very first
So
alligator.
it's not a glass bottom boat.
It's not glass bottom, but it's a big boat. We can seat 24 on the boat, and I always have a first mate with me. We have volunteer first mates who are awesome.
Really?
And so, yeah, Marion County Public Schools come out to the museum. Fourth graders are there as part of their Florida history. They see the Cracker Village and our museum.
So you know that river left and right. I mean, you know everything
do.
about that river.
Yes, I've been working on the river. I've been a captain for 10 years, been working for Marion County Schools for 8.
Wow.
So it's a great place. Great place.
We're here to talk about the book, but maybe we'll squeeze in some river questions.
That's fine.
All right,
If I don't know, I'll make something up for
Before
you.
we talk about the book, I want to talk about you as a writer.
Okay.
How far back did you? Well, I guess twofold question. I mean, were you a writer all of your life, and if so, when did it manifest as a novel, as actual complete books?
Okay. Well, they never show it for me as a complete book. It shows up as an idea. So I start with that. But as far as my love for books, that goes all the way back to libraries, which I love.
You were a big reader when you
Big
were
reader.
little. Okay.
I'm the children of immigrants, and we had one car, and the bookmobile used to come to our neighborhood. And my mom took us to the bookmobile as a way for her to improve her English, German background.
Uh-huh.
And then later we'd go to the public library and bring stacks and stacks of books home. So I love libraries.
Wow.
And I'll actually be at 5 different libraries this summer for Marion County.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Which is very cool.
So today's the beginning of the spelling bee, by the way, the script spelling bee.
Oh, there you go.
Did you know the first deaf child is going to be part of the spelling bee?
Oh, that's awesome.
In all time, yeah.
I love that. That's so cool. No,
got-
I did not know that.
It's got cochlear implants, whatever
Yeah.
they call them, and so the person reading the question or the word has an FM signal that goes directly to his cochlear thing, and he can hear it.
Oh, that's
He's 11
fabulous.
11 years old.
Love technology
Just
when it
amazing.
can do things like that. That's wonderful.
So you, where did you grow up?
On Long Island in New York, but our family moved to Florida in 79.
Really?
And we've been in this area. My husband and I raised our kids here for over 20 years.
Is that right? Wow.
So
All right, so back to the book question. When did you write? Okay, when did the first book get published? Then let me ask it that way.
First novel got published in 2009. That was Trapped. That was also a Florida set story. I've written nonfiction and I've ghostwritten for people, so I've written before that. But as far as a novel under
okay.
my name, it was 2009.
Okay.
And then Angel Falls was my Brazil set story in
That's the one
2013.
you came into us
yes,
about.
I
Okay,
talked
right.
with you about that. And now this one is also a Florida set, and the heroine is a boat captain. people were asking about write a boat captain. So I said, yeah, why not? And they said, is it autobiographical? No, she is not me. She is her own person.
Yeah, and I didn't think so.
That's just great.
I didn't think so. Sometimes you wonder, right? If it just didn't seem like this was you.
No.
So okay.
No.
So tell us the story without telling us the whole story.
Okay.
Tell us the movie trailer version. Make us want to read the book.
The movie trailer version. Well, it's about 3 foster sisters who grew up in Florida, and they've all been gone their separate ways for a long time, and Mama calls them home for her birthday. And when they get there, they find out she has cancer, and she wants them to find Tony, her son, who disappeared when he was a toddler, and they don't know what happened. And this is years later, and they're like, how are we going to find that out? But Sasha says she'll stay for a little while, help run the marina, and try to find out. And then, of course, her high school flame shows up back in town, and he's got a vintage racing boat that he wants to race. And so they try to figure out what's going on, find Tony, and get the boat ready to race. And they find out there's a lot of people in this little town who have secrets they don't want told.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So then we have suspense.
And the mom is amazing because Tony's the biological son.
Yes.
And then she takes in the foster children.
Yes,
so.
she does. Yep.
Amazing family.
Yep. So very cool. So hopefully it'll be the first of 3, I'm hoping. books.
Oh, you have that already in mind. So this is called Tangled Lies.
Correct.
And on Amazon, I'm looking at the page right now. 13 customer reviews, 5 stars, every one of them.
Cool. That's very
That is
exciting
really cool.
for a book that came out yesterday.
It
I'm
just
pretty
came out
blown
yesterday?
away.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. Yeah,
I'm
you
blown
did tell me
away.
that. Oh, wow. Look at this. It is clear from the other reviews that Connie Mann's second novel, Tangled Lies, is a riveting page-turner. I agree. You can say the same for her first book, Angel Falls, which obviously wasn't your first book.
Right, but
First
that's
book,
okay.
Dana. but it's interesting that you have a following and you have a fan base, I guess you call it, right?
Yeah, it takes time, and you get to know people. I've gotten to know amazing other people and talk books with them, and I've been so. I feel so fortunate that there's so many people willing to help me promote this story and promote my writing, and that is just a gift that's incredible.
So the protagonist is Sasha Petrov. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Yep.
It's not you.
Not me.
Do other people who you know though say, "Am I this other character? Am I that character?"
No. I make sure that
There's nobody with a tangled lie in here.
No.
Okay.
This is a made-up town. If it really existed, it would be somewhere between Crystal River and Cedar Key.
And the name of the town?
Safe Harbor.
Safe Harbor. I love the name. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So,
And the Sasha is amazing because she was brought up in this loving family, but she still has memories
she does.
of her life before, and now she's in conflict with what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah, she has some baggage, like most of us do, and things she has to work out and work through. And she's got a great hero that's trying to help her deal with some of that. And like many of us, feels like maybe we let our families down sometimes in what we've done or didn't mean to do. Or so she has some of that to work through. That's all a secondary thread running through there.
So where does it incubate? Where does the story idea? You have an idea, and since you're in a boat, I'm imagining that you go out on the boat alone sometimes without the kids. Am I right? I mean, where does it incubate? Do you just sit in a room? Do you drive? Where does
It's
it
all
all?
over. It's all over the place. But hubby and I have our own boat, and so that is mostly our happy place. Yes, we're out on the boat, and the rest of the world kind of disappears for a couple of hours. And so we understand Sasha's issue of missing things because she got sidetracked being out in the water. We do get that part of it, but it starts with, for me, a person, usually a main character, and also a place. I love the feel that different places have. Places have a personality to me, that makes one place very different than another. And to try to pick up on those subtle differences to where the setting is almost its own character. Like you can't set this story somewhere else and have it be the same story. The setting becomes a part of it. Those are my favorite kinds of stories.
Where is this between the two real places? This is between
Crystal River and Cedar Key. So somewhere on the Gulf.
Okay,
It's right near us, but it doesn't really exist except in my imagination.
And the Sasha has an anchor herself in Bella.
Yes.
The dog is beautiful.
Yes, I loved writing Bella. We had a black lab for 18 years, and I still miss her. So yes, Sasha has her faithful Bella that's there for her all the time, which I had a lot of fun putting in the story.
Dogs are special.
They are, no question.
With all the children that you work with, is the book appropriate for that age group?
They may not be interested in it. I mean, there isn't.
But it's not inappropriate.
It's not inappropriate, but it's not a.
I mean, it'd be okay if it was. I mean,
it's not a subject matter they'd be interested in. But one of the categories this book is under is considered clean and wholesome romance. So there's no steamy sex scenes in it.
Okay, all right. Well, I would imagine the kids would like that, though. I mean, you have every level of intellect, in even adults. Right? I know. Yeah. I'm still 14. All right, we'll be right back. Connie Mann is with us. Her new book, Tangled Lies. Connie Mann from right here in Ocala. You live in Ocala, right?
Nearby.
Summerfield? Bellevue?
Marion County.
Oh, you don't want to say? We will be right back with Connie.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Wednesday will be a partly sunny, warm day with a high of 84 along the coast, 89 inland. Mainly clear winds tonight, lows in the low to mid-60s inland, 69 at the beaches. Thursday, sunshine mixing with clouds, breezy in the afternoon, the high 82 on the coast, 87 inland. For Friday, partly sunny and becoming breezy with a shower with thunderstorm in spots, especially in the afternoon, the high 83 to 87. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Central Florida Eye Institute is the area's leader in laser vision correction. From high-definition refraction surgery and LASIK vision correction to custom cataract, glaucoma, and diabetic treatment, you can count on Dr. Crowley and his effective, friendly staff to provide you with the quality care you deserve. Call 352-237-8400 for an appointment or more information. That number again is 352-237-8400. Looking forward to service your vision needs. The Orlando Fringe returns its 25th anniversary festival, May 18th through the 30th, with nearly 1,000 performances from local, national, and international performing arts companies. There is truly something for everyone at the Orlando Fringe. For tickets and information, visit orlandofringe.org or call 407-648-0077. We hope to see you on the Fringe. Orlando Fringe, 25 years bold.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
All right, 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Connie Mann is in the studio. Let me read some of these things Robin prepared for me to tell people about you, Connie. Connie is a USCG, is that Coast Guard?
Yes.
U.S. Coast Guard licensed boat captain known as Captain Connie on Central Florida's waterways. She works for the Silver River Museum. Did you ever drive one of the glass bottom boats or no?
I did.
Oh, you
yes,
did?
About 6 years I worked for Silver Springs as well.
You are with the museum, which is part of the school system here. You introduced boats full of school children. You just mentioned the, what was the name of it?
The Timucuan.
The Timucuan.
Or Timucuan.
To the first alligator.
Yeah, there's lots of kids.
So you always know where the
one.
alligators hang out.
We do. After being out on the water for a while, you sort of know where they like to hang out, so we're looking for them.
You also, it says here, are passionate about helping women and children in developing countries follow their dreams and break the poverty cycle. Well, good for you.
Thank you.
Wow. So how hard is that to do?
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Well, I work with two different organizations. One of them is called Lift the Lid, .org.
That's what I'm always told to do.
It's a little different. But they work with schools in developing countries, and I spent 6 weeks in the Philippines during college, and so I'm passionate about those children on the streets. And they work with the street children there in Manila and helping them get an education, some of them getting them a meal, paying for their uniforms, giving them breakfast, a place to be after school so they're not begging, to get them an education to hopefully get them off the streets, out of that poverty cycle, to build a future for them. I also help work with the Blessing Basket Project, which works with weavers and artisans around the world in developing countries as well, helping them find a market here in the U.S. for gorgeous handmade baskets and other items.
Oh, wow.
And so they get paid way higher than fair trade wages to help them be entrepreneurs and get their families out of poverty.
Wow,
So-
that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
So more info on both of those are at my website at conniemann.com.
ConnieMann.com. Okay,
Yes.
two ends on
Two
on
ends,
Mann.
yes, conniemann.com.
So I want to get back to Tangled Lies, but
Okay.
before I have one river question.
Okay.
I've always wondered something. Okay. Lake Rousseau in Denell or near Denell, that's got a lock on it, right? Or like the Withlacoochee River or something? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with the Withlacoochee.
Okay.
I'm much more familiar with the Silver River because
Okay,
that's where
okay.
I spend my time.
Okay, well, the question I had, and maybe there's an equal question here. We went to the lock one time over Lake Rousseau, and I thought, wow, I didn't know this was here. And it looks like you could literally take. Does the Ocklawaha connect to the Withlacoochee, or are they not connected at all?
No,
They're not connected.
no.
Okay, but it looks like you could go from the Rainbow River all the way out to the Gulf of Mexico. If you took the Rainbow to the Withlacoochee, and then you have to go through that lock, I guess. How do you do that? Wake up some guy? Because there was like nobody there.
That I don't know. That I don't know.
And then I guess you go to a different level, and then you go out that canal that they started to build, right?
Yeah.
So do we have any? Like, could you go to? Like, where does the could you go out to the Gulf or to the Atlantic from the Ocklawaha?
Yeah, technically, yes. You could go from Silver Springs to the Atlantic up in Jacksonville because the Silver River flows into the Ocklawaha River.
Okay.
It flows into the St. John's.
Ah.
It flows north because
Okay.
the water's rolling downhill from our higher level here
Right.
to Jacksonville, goes out to the Atlantic. That's why it's a federally controlled waterway. That's one of the reasons I'm a captain, is because it's under the control of the Coast Guard, because technically you can get to the ocean from Silver Springs. It would take a while, but it's possible.
So what's the farthest you've
Wow.
ever gone?
We've taken our personal boat on the Ocklawaha, but there's so many trees down in there and stuff that you worry about your propeller. So if
Oh,
you
really?
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
the museum boat is much too big to go any further. We take it out at Ray Wayside once a year for maintenance, but otherwise we don't go further than that.
Any hopes that we're going to be able to swim in Silver Springs soon?
I have no idea.
You don't know. All right. Back to the book, Tangled Lies. So now you mentioned that this is the first of 3.
Hopefully.
So
yes.
as you develop the characters in this book, does that govern anything about the way you develop the characters? In other words, you don't want to kill off a character that you like because you want her or him to appear in future books.
Right. You do keep that in mind, in the back of your mind, to say, what information am I seeding into this book that will come up to play in a future book? You know, if you introduce a character, all 3 sisters are introduced in this book. They're all there for the party. And the idea is that each sister would get her own book, hopefully. Down the road.
I see. So that's kind of the way it became 3. But there's a lot of authors that have trilogies. It's almost like publishers want trilogies.
They do. They like trilogies because if you create a setting and create characters that people like, they want to know more about them. They want to go back to that world.
So Sasha Petrov never showed up before. This is her introduction to us?
Correct.
Okay.
This is book 1.
So the characters from the earlier book, they are buried?
Those are totally separate books. Those were standalones.
Okay.
And this one hopefully is going to be the first of 3, we hope.
Does that make it fun for you? I mean, do you live there? Do you live in Safe Harbor? In your mind, I mean?
When I'm working on it, yes, very much so. But right now I'm also working on some other projects at the same time. So then I have to go back and remember where I am.
Others that'll say Connie Mann on the book?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Because I don't know. I don't even know what ghostwriting really is, but it seems like you're doing the work and somebody else gets the credit. Is that true?
To some extent, yes. And sometimes, you do it. I've done some of it years ago as a paycheck. I didn't need the credit. It was not a topic that had anything to do with what I'm about. I was helping somebody out who was maybe a speaker who needed to get their material out but didn't know how to do it. And I said, yeah, I can do that, but I don't need the credit for it because this is your book. And so I was very happy to do that for folks. But I don't really do any of that anymore. I just don't have time. Between boat captaining and writing, I don't have the time.
I think you need the credit. You need to be acknowledged for what your skills and your talents are.
Well, thank you.
Do you like writers' groups? Do you
I
think
love
they're
them.
beneficial?
Love them. I actually just spent the weekend at Amelia Island with one of my writers groups that I'm a part of. Fabulous group of ladies, First Coast romance writers out of Jacksonville, and plotted actually book 3 if it comes to pass.
Oh, wonderful!
We were talking about that this weekend, and they were great to help. So that was very cool.
Who was the author we speak to that does a coast book? Up in New England, I think her books are set.
Oh, yeah, I can't recall her name.
Oh gosh, that almost
Sorry.
came to me. Missy likes the author. I'm wondering if you like her.
Oh, yeah, Debbie Maycomer.
Do you know her?
Oh, I've met her. She's a lovely woman.
She's been on the show, not in person, but on the phone.
Yes.
And really sweet. And
she's mega bestseller, and she's just a gracious, wonderful lady. I had the privilege of meeting her years ago.
well, that's you.
Lovely lady.
That's your future right there.
Well, thank you.
I think
that is so sweet of you to say.
I think
Thank
so.
You.
I mean, look at these reviews on Amazon. So the book became available yesterday.
Correct.
I'm fascinated by the fact that it's an Audible book. Who did the reading? Who did the?
They hired somebody. The publisher hired somebody to do it. So that's a first for me. I've never had a book as an audiobook.
Wow.
So I'm very excited.
It's so much
about that.
better when it's an audiobook than using like your Kindle to talk to you.
Okay.
Because the Kindle will talk to you and it'll read SOS as sauce.
Oh.
You know.
It's computer voice.
Right. It's a computer.
Yeah. I won't read it right, but yeah.
No, I was very excited.
One of the things I love about your book is that you fall in love with Sasha from the very first 4 pages.
Oh, good.
Because of what happens in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really amazing. You just suck the reader right in, and it's just you just want to read it to the end.
Oh, thank you. That means I did my job, because that's
Yeah.
the idea, is to hook you at the beginning and keep you till the last page.
Yeah, you did.
You know what's interesting as a reader, being 61, looking at Mama Rosa 60, I'm thinking, oh, there's an old lady. I'm thinking, and then I realized,
And you go, that's not that old.
wait a minute,
Right?
wait a minute.
I know. It's scary, isn't it?
it really is.
You have a wonderful character in Jesse, though.
He's yummy,
Because
isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. But she's not going to let anybody deter her from finding out about herself and, taking care of the task at hand.
Right. She's a task person, and she gets torn because she doesn't want to be distracted, and she doesn't want to let her family down because she feels like she's inadvertently done that too many times, and so she's not going to give up on that. So that's kind of a fun byplay to see the two of them interact. And
So
fall in love.
I think the students would love this. I really don't think. Do you keep it from them? Do they not know that you write books?
It doesn't usually come up because when I'm on the boat, my job is to show them the river. And sometimes, most of the time, we have our teacher at the museum who's talking to the students. And I drive the boat. And we also have another captain and a backup captain. So there's 3 of us that take turns driving the boat. So I'm not there every day. But there are times where if we have more students that can fit on one trip, we'll do multiple trips. And then I get to be the tour guide, which is also...
that's wonderful.
That's really fun for me.
You're so relatable because you really know the human psyche, and it's very evident in the book, and it's very evident with your work that you do with the children.
Well, thank you.
Because you're genuine, you're not, prodding or anything. You're very genuine.
I enjoy being out on the water. I enjoy seeing kids light up and get excited about what they're seeing on the river, and I don't want to dip my toe into anything political, but the fact is our water matters, and our kids need to appreciate that, and not just the beauty of it, but the value of it in order for them to protect it when it's their turn to be in charge of all of that.
Well, if that's what politics is about, then I'm all for politics, because I think that's probably one of the most important things that our politicians should be addressing is things like that.
Absolutely. We have to have a place to hand down to the next generation. We have to protect
Absolutely,
it. And
absolutely.
so this introduces the kids to how important this is. And by getting them excited about it, hopefully we get them excited about protecting and preserving it as well.
Do you know, when you write about lies and romance, as a reader, you're sort of kind of delightfully being a voyeur, aren't you? And does that happen for you as the writer as well? Are you delighting in being a little bit of a voyeur, looking in on their secrets and their romances, etc.?
In a sense, when I'm writing it, I sort of become that character. So I live Sasha's life for a while, to see the world through her eyes. And ideally, there's different points of view in a book. You're trying very hard to see the world from that character's eyes at that moment, to see what they're seeing and feel what they're feeling. So you do get to live somebody else's life for a while, and hopefully the reader does too. They get an escape.
Can I give this one away?
Absolutely.
I have a copy of the book. It is written by Connie Mann. It's called Tangled Lies. You can have the one that was brought to us by Connie. Not that we want to give it away, but we will. But I'll go buy mine. I have a Kindle, so I'll get one for my Kindle.
Well, thank you.
So call me if you want the copy that was sent to us. Or you brought it here, right?
Yes, I did.
You brought it here. Go to Amazon to buy the book. Where else do we buy the book?
That's the best place to get it.
Just go to Amazon. Connie Mann, will you sign the book for whoever gets the book?
Oh, absolutely, I will. And I'll also be locally at Gabriel's on June 4th.
Oh, yeah, mention that.
Oh, okay.
Gabriel's June 4th from 11 to 2. They've been great. I'll be there, and I'll be at 5 different Marion County libraries doing talks this summer. Okay. And it's all on my website under the speaking tab, under appearances.
ConnieMann.com.
ConnieMann.com.
Okay.
We'll make sure to promote it.
We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. President Obama lands in Japan. Arriving from his historic visit to Vietnam, he faces anger from Japanese, upset over the rape and murder of a woman in Okinawa by a U.S. civilian working there. The president's talking today with Japan Prime Minister Shinzo Abe about that issue hanging over his trip to the G7 meeting. For the man who would be president, angry protesters clash with police in Albuquerque. Inside the convention center, Donald Trump attacks New Mexico Governor Susana Martinez.
We have to get your governor to get going. She's got to do a better job, okay? Your governor has got to do a better job. She's not doing...
Martinez, a Republican, has criticized Trump, calling his comments about Mexican immigrants completely wrong. And Democrats Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders fighting hard for the California June 7th primary. Fox News, we report, you decide.